Turkin around, long as they've been alive. Turkin around, guess we're doing it live. We're talking about the songs, maybe drinking some beer. Turkin around is you. You got Paul and Noel, Billy Law, country singer Joshua Ray Walker, Dick and Mongo Will. Call this episode My Favorite Murder Ballad.
Cool. Well, nice. What are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about
Want to take that one again, Nathan?
welcome back to Turkin Around. We're Turkin and we're around. It's the less offensive version of the name we came up with first.
If you guess it right, we'll send you a piece of merch.
Or you can take a shot, because that's how the show works.
The game that no one should really play.
Yeah.
But Nathan's going to keep pushing.
It's interactive. It's fun.
You can play along at home.
When the season's over, binge the show and play all the way through.
Yeah. Have y'all seen that thing where some artist created like a suicide roller coaster or something where the G-forces like kill you?
It's like the Euphoria coaster, right? Like you're supposed to have fun and then you die.
It's a wild idea, but then of course, if they ever built it, I'd be like, well, I kind of want to ride it, like just to see what it'd be like. But then I'd be dead. So.
Oh, you're there at like 88. You're like, pull me up.
Yeah, the ultimate roller coaster. I mean, what a way to go! If you binge watch the show and play the game for every episode, by the end, well, let's not get too dark here. We are talking about songs from our debut album, the anniversary of which was yesterday because we're recording on Monday. That's Monday. Nothing up my sleeve. What are we talking? Oh yes, our debut album came out a year ago. How's that feel?
It's been a wild ride.
Some of which took place at the Granada parts, I would venture to say. Some of the best parts. You all right? What happened?
I got esophageal problems.
Ooh.
I got a drinking problem. The water just makes me cough, man. That's why I switched to Trader Joe's blueberry lemonade sparkling water.
Natural Peter Pan peanut butter.
It's good.
Hemisphere Brewing Company.
Topo Chico water in a glass with lime. It's delicious. But today, what are we talking about? We're talking about My Dog, and we're talking about Red. Those are our two songs of the day. Let's start with My Dog, I guess, because that's the order of operations here. Hey, Will, how about you always introduce this song live in a particular way? What do you say about this song?
I say what you say, which is this is a song about a dog that beats up bullies. That's what you say.
Yeah, this is called My Dog. It's about a dog that beats up bullies, so... Do I say it? I don't know. I feel like...
You know, you're the one who says that.
Well, it feels like it's coming out of your mouth.
I'm glad we're in sync.
Now neither of us are ever going to say it again, probably.
I mean, I've never said it, so...
You definitely say it all the time.
No.
In my memory, it's you saying it.
Do you think you wrote this song to like recover from trauma from being bullied as a youngling?
Well, I'll say I certainly didn't write it about a dog because I'd never had one at that time and I never wanted to get one. How wrong I was, by the way. But yeah, totally. It's about bullying and I can identify with that because I had a heck of a time in middle school and junior high. I've come to terms with it. I wrote a song about it. It's called My Dog, and the dog beats up the bullies.
You realized you had it coming.
I certainly wasn't doing anything to help myself, running around on the playground pretending to be Digimon and talking to the tree.
That was in middle school?
I was going to say in sophomore year.
I didn't grow out of it. I just found better ways to funnel that creative energy. Now I put that into a song.
Is My Dog a Digimon that you created?
Aren't all thought forms technically
Digimon?
The only Digimon that does crack cocaine.
In your solo stuff, you have an illegal drug reference. Is there any other drug reference in this album? I was trying to think.
That's the only one. We pretty much stick to the tried and true American values of drinking beer and
cigarettes.
A healthy American breakfast right there.
I'm like, if 1100 can be the radio darlings that they are and start a song with roll up another joint, making a subtle reference to Mary Jane or even crack cocaine, probably fine. I don't know.
Everyone's on the radio somewhere.
You guys are on the radio in Spain.
That's a good story for the thing. So back in the day, I got an offer online in the early days of OT to get like 100 free business cards.
Sponsored by Vistaprint.
Yeah. Business cards are hard to come by.
Well, they've got ads on the back of them if you get them for free.
They had like this like harvest thing with like guitar picks and wheat grass or something, and I picked that, and it said Ottoman Turks, Nathan Wells, had my address, which I don't know why I put my address on it. People could come to my parents' house. I put a quote, and it was, "We're on the radio in Spain," because some Spanish radio station thing had picked us up. Oh, and that's the business card that I gave to Hayes Carll when he played at Double Wide, and I interrupted him talking to his date when I was drunk, and then later apologized to him on Twitter, and then I like never tweeted again for like 3 years. He responded though, and he said, "Oh, it's all good, man. You know."
That night you were talking about was the first time I ever got mentioned in any written thing ever. Someone did a review of that show. There's like a part in the middle of the article that says, "A large cowboy with his lady friend dance in the middle of the whatever." And I was like,
about that. Yes.
I was like, that was me.
Whoop. Oh, come on. You do this on purpose. What are you doing?
Oh, no.
Are you back? What are you doing? Is he gone?
I'm over here. No, I'm over there. No, I'm over here.
All right.
I don't like this.
Here's the problem. When you run an iPhone 6, if you've got your charger in, it's not always charging.
If people donate to this video, it'll go towards the very necessary fund of buying Will a new phone. iPhone 6, what those distant, like ancient times.
This iPhone is Bruce Willis.
Never
Die
ages.
Hard. It sounds like you're trying to use a phone like a turkey sandwich. You're just like trying to make the tomatoes not squeeze out the back.
Yeah. My dog, I mean, it was a very straight blues tune.
I have absolutely no recollection of pre-breakdown My Dog.
We have a recording,
So,
and I'm going to
right.
put it in.
Now,
I got a dog big as a plane. I don't know why. That's what I did.
Does this one have a mandolin solo in it?
No.
Oh my gosh,
Everything
that
seems to
mandolin
be in
solo
tune.
was so bad. Like,
I remember.
I mean, it's a brave thing. It's brave for you to post that.
But yeah, My Dog used to be blues rock, and then yes, Josh came in and was like, "Hey, what if we?" I remember that was like the moment that I was like, "This is okay. We are now the coolest band that I've ever heard in my entire life. We just did."
I think that was the first heavy thing that we had put into any song. I mean, that was the first breakdown we put in any song. It was the first thing that was like truly heavy. I'm definitely remember thinking after that, like, how are we going to incorporate something like this into other songs?
Like everything can be as cool and should be as cool as we think this thing that we just did is.
we
Like, everything
reworked
almost-
it like every song.
I bought a Big Muff specifically for that song.
Paul, I know you're just hand drumming or something, but it looks like you're turking off.
Show your hands, everybody.
Monday.
Josh, how did you come up with that solo?
Probably in the shower. That's where most of my guitar riffs come from. Was that around the time we were getting ready for the Deep Ellum Arts Festival?
The one that got canceled, yes.
I feel like we've never been more well practiced than we were
Dude,
leading
in
up
fact,
to that show.
we probably sounded better then than we do now. We were like so ready,
Show
and
that
then it
never
got
was.
rained out. But they
sorry.
put us on the next year.
I think we started reworking old OT songs for that.
Turks started out as like Nathan's solo project, and it was meant to be kind of a stripped down, old folksy type deal.
In the beginning, we used acoustic guitars and stuff. I had a banjo sometimes.
And when he brought a band into it, there was no talk of like artistic redirection. It just kind of organically happened once that breakdown came into play. We were like, okay, well,
That's fun.
I think that's why we sound the way that we sound, honestly. Like, that breakdown is what made Turks into what it is today.
Talking about last week, like that kind of is a big part of Turks, is the fact that we will play songs like Beer and Women, which is like your typical two-stepping honky-tonky thing. And then we can play My Dog, which
Right.
I'm really proud of, that we have that kind of flexibility.
That could segue nicely into Red, which is personally my favorite Turks song.
I was thinking of it, hands down, favorite Turks song, both to play live and just favorite Turks song, I think, for me.
And that definitely started out as one of Nathan's like solo folk guitar and vocals, and it turned into one of our heaviest
The only reason we play that at all, the only reason I put it on that solo record or like hung on to that song was because you always liked it. Because Will and I, we used to just trade songs back and forth. We'd have like meetings and do it. I probably never would have done anything with it if not for the fact that you kept asking about that song Red.
I really love it, and I really love what it's turned into.
I think that one of those writing exercises resulted in me writing the chords to Lot Lizard. I think you sent lyrics and I came up, and then I just took your lyrics off of it and went and wrote Lot Lizard on top of the chords.
Look at that. Turkin Around is also about joshing around. That kind of works. Stay tuned, folks, for but we're going to do an in-depth dive into the Joshua Ray Walker songs.
And we're going to talk about how Nathan and I secretly wrote all of them.
But it turns out that's a lie, too. Paul wrote everything.
The hidden genius. Here I am.
Which is kind of cool, like last week when we got to see some of your older demos of some of these songs. Like, that's how we played those songs for years.
Over the years, you know, you get bored of playing songs a certain way. And I think probably we're going to keep pushing and pulling at it forever. I'd like to do like a reggae version of My Dog or something like that. I shouldn't do a reggae version of anything.
Should we talk about Red some more?
No. That was it. Thanks, folks.
Can we all do the Macarena together?
1, 2, 3, 4. Do dicka do dicka do dicka dicka do dicka do dicka do dicka dicka do dicka do dicka do dicka dicka. Macarena.
I only
Nice.
sort of know it.
Okay, Nathan, can you talk about where did you get the lyrics for Red?
I like Murder. Not really. I think that one's sort of supposed to be like a modern sort of murder ballad and trying to visualize this. Well, like one of the, it's, you know, when a man loves a woman. No.
No.
Hang on. I got it.
Murder ballad is a very like traditional style of folk music. And at some point, Nathan had written so many murder ballads that he and I decided we needed to come up with a concept album connecting the dots between all these murder ballads that he had written.
And Red is one. We were talking about starting out as a very rootsy, folky sort of band. Murder ballad is sort of your starting point for writing songs like that, right? Of course, the goal is to always make it interesting or different. And so I was visualizing someone who has just come to like a blind rage or basically like the classic insanity defense where like I had no knowledge of what I was doing, and so it's the killer has done something and he's like wandering through the house seeing evidence of his crime, but is sort of in denial at the very end, realizes what he's done, and pretty much he just gets dragged to hell right there. The instruments go crazy and all that. I like it when songs sort of sound like what it's talking about. A lot of the time it can help with the story you're telling to like have the song go along with. I love when it builds and falls along with the story. So Red is definitely a prime example of that.
And I think that's probably why it's my favorite song, is because it builds. It's kind of crescendo core in a way.
Is that a term?
It's like kind of a tongue-in-cheek. I've always heard it in like reference to Explosion in the Sky. I'm all about that shit. The build-up just gets me like so excited, and
a lot of it's on you too.
Yeah, I know. I'm like I'm like, this is mine. For me, that's the song where it's like, I don't care if like the audience likes it or not. Like, this is the trip you're going on, whether you like it or not. Here we go.
There was a show that we played in New Braunfels at River Road Ice House.
Are you in a?
I want to know what story is coming out of River Road Ice House.
We were playing with Mickey and the Motor Cars, who obviously appeal to a country red dirt. I think people dug the show, but I do remember looking up as we're like hitting it hard and red and seeing some faces that are like,
I don't know what's going on, but it ain't right.
We were there with 40 Acre Mule, and I think we had some sort of bet or competition to see who could get the higher bar tab.
And we won.
And we won. There's an asterisk on that. They were too fancy to drink the well whiskey, so
Right.
they were drinking Jameson. They beat it by like $14. So we by far had the most drinks, and
Well,
we'll
certainly
drink.
the most free drinks.
Oh, that's why they went out of business.
We were the opener for the opener, and we ran up a $200 bar tab.
They ran out of Miller Lite.
And now we're never going to get booked again because every venue will be scared of us. I'm sure that is the least damage that some bands have done.
We haven't cheersed.
Oh, we have a video that was really fun to make for Red. It's our only homemade music video.
It came out the day that South by Southwest was canceled.
If you want to get in Turk's shape and quit turking around with your fitness, then follow the Turks diet plan, which consists of drinking beer and running really,
Messing
really
around
fast.
on an elliptical.
Do you want to look as good as one of these guys? Have I got news for you?
What is this? Turkin Around. I just want to keep saying it so people have to do
Can you
shots. We should have the National Bullying Prevention Hotline flash on screen. Bullying is
That's a
terrible.
good idea. Has everyone here been bullied?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't think I've ever been like, there are some jerks. I don't know.
Paul is too kind to everyone to have ever realized that he was being bullied.
And I was like, okay, son
Dang
of a iPhone 6.
Now he's sideways. Why? What happened?
Hey,
You spin me right around me. Favorite murder ballad? Paul?
I only know of Red.
None of the songs you listen to are about killing. It's just about being sad.
Nothing comes to mind.
how is that possible?
Nathan, what's yours?
Knoxville Girl by Louvin Brothers, by far. Love that
That was
song.
also my answer.
High five.
Ready?
Turkin'
1,
Around.
2, 3.
Does Green Grass by Tom Waits count? I always
be,
thought the
actually.
connotation was that was purposeful.
That would make a lot of sense, actually. All right. Well, y'all want to call it?
It's been fun turking around.
Turkin' Around. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in to Turkin' Around.
SaveOurStages.com.
Don't
No bullies.
bully.
Don't bully.
Don't bully.
My favorite
Put your favorite murder ballad in the comments. If you have a question about next week's songs, give us a nice stepping off point.
Next week is the trilogy. I Find Myself More Lonesome, OCP, and Can't Promise Nothing. There's lots to talk about with all those songs.
But
I'm looking
yes.
forward to next week. He's ready. Like ancient times.
An angel.